This is a list of top 5 sequels I'd like to see from movies that have not done so well and have been released within the past 10 years. So here we go. Number 5 is Speed Racer. Speed Racer, I watched back when it first came out. I was probably about 16 at the time, and I loved this movie. The visuals were stunning, and the detail in just how Speed Racer drove and how it correlated with the show was just super cool. I remember watching a little bit of the show on, I think it was the UPN network at like 2 in the morning if I ever woke up a little bit early. But I just remember I loved that movie. And to end on the note where, Racer X isn't going to reveal his identity to Speed Racer, like that was a gut punch because that family misses him. To see a continuation, how he would race now, and him trying to connect with Racer X, and maybe Racer X reveals his identity. That would have been something cool to see. So, with that being said, I would have really loved to see a sequel to this, but you know, I hope they do one day, but man, it's looking like that's never going to happen. Okay, so number 4 is 23 Jump Street. I love the first 21 Jump Street, and I absolutely adore 22 Jump Street. Those movies are so funny, and I love how they make fun of themselves while being funny. And the acting between Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, they riff off each other so well. And I love Ice Cube in it. I love how they, they're in school, and how they try to, hey, you're old enough to be my dad. The way they acted as those characters, oh, I loved it. And there was talk on how it was going to be a like Jump Street mixed with Men in Black, which I think a lot of people didn't like that idea, but I think they could have made it work, especially with like Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. They could have been like, well, I guess we're going to aliens, and just imagine the comedic scenes that there could be. Like, imagine the scene where he's in the truck and the octopus inks in his mouth. Imagine like going on a spaceship with an alien, with Jonah Hill. Like, there's potential to be so funny. And I really think it could have been something cool. So, that's number 4. Number 3 is Solo 2. After watching Solo, I don't understand why it didn't make more money than it did. I like it. It's not as good as any of the saga films. I mean, it's not as memorable as Rogue One, but that's just because Rogue One had the Darth Vader scene at the end. I think if Rogue One didn't have Darth Vader and didn't have that Darth Vader scene, I think Solo would have nudged it. But I mean, I have to count that Darth Vader scene because that Darth Vader scene was awesome in Rogue One. But Solo, it told a good story. I thought Alden Ehrenreich, or whatever his name is, I thought he did a good job as Solo. I liked the Kessel Run part of the story. I liked how it ended. I liked the fact that, hey, Darth Maul is part of this kind of rising sun, Tatooine mafia lifestyle or whatever. And I really like to see that story continue, and to see where Han Solo goes from here to wherever Solo 2 goes, then to wherever that leads him to in A New Hope. Also, will he ever see Darth Maul? It's so intriguing. And to see where Emilia Clarke, her character, where she takes over and how that affects Han's relationship with her. So a lot of cool aspects to dive into. So I'm totally intrigued in that. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Power Rangers. I want to see Power Rangers 2 so bad. I thought the new Power Rangers movie that came out, I thought it was extremely well done. I liked all the new iterations of the Power Rangers. I like Trini, I like Billy, I like Zach, Jason, and I liked Kimberly. Like, they hit it. That's the perfect crew for this day and age. I liked how they were like grounded, because TV show they're a little goofy, but again, that was back in the 90s, so of course a little bit goofy. But I loved Power Rangers. I I wish I could have seen more Power Ranger action actually, because like the last 20 minutes was when they were morphed. Outside of that, it was good character development time, and I appreciate it. I got to grow to like those characters, but I wanted to see some Power Ranger badassness more than fighting just a few putties and getting in their Zords. So, and they teased at Tommy. So, I mean, who would you cast as Tommy? Number two, I don't know. Um, but I mean, I would love to see like a Tommy evil storyline like they did in the show, to where the Power Rangers got to fight like a super badass Power Ranger, and fucking the Dragon Zord. Oh man, that'd be awesome. Like an updated Dragon Zord, I'd love it. So I hope that comes out. I don't think it will, but I hope that comes out. So number one is Warcraft II. Now I love World of Warcraft. Big nerd. I spent many days loving that. But I really, really liked the Warcraft movie. It was kind of a basic storyline, but that is the storyline of Warcraft. So now that we got that storyline out of the way, I think it is a very opportune time to branch off. I wouldn't mind them skipping a few storylines to get to a Lich King or a Illidan storyline. I personally would want Illidan, where Illidan, he's a night elf, and he goes to the Outlands to make an army to fight the Burning Legion that are gonna invade Azeroth. And that whole storyline of how a group of night elves then go to hunt him because they think he's making an army to, fight them in Azeroth, which he sees a greater picture, and, they're trying to stop him, when in reality, Illidan is trying to save the planet, but he's doing, some dark ways to do it, but it's such a great storyline. Those who have played the game would know. And I think, based off of their cinematics alone, they can make a great movie. Yeah, I mean, that or the Wrath of the Lich King, where he, is using undead to try to take over and kill Azeroth. So I just something like that, because I just love that world so much, and it's so vast, and there's so many possibilities, so many creatures. I think it'd be super awesome to expand on what they've already did, which they did a fantastic job. The CG was great. I thought Duncan Jones did amazing work at recreating this world. Warcraft 2 is a must. So that's my top 5 of movies that I'd like to see. Let me know what you think. If you got a movie that you want to see a sequel to, let me know. And, thanks for checking this out.